Hey guys, good morning. It's Brandon. So, as you probably have heard by now, the Venezuelan president was supposedly captured by the U.S. Special forces. Basically, it's my belief that you'll never see video footage of him interacting with other human beings. You might see a couple photos of him, and then he'll be quote unquote uh, killed the same way as you saw Saddam Hussein hung. I don't foresee that guy is even still alive. I think it's a lie because I can just sense, I could tell when 9/11 was a lie the day it happened. I can just tell by the way they stage the news when they've got something to cover up. And I genuinely think that they've already killed him and they're too ashamed to say it because they don't want to start World War III just yet. And now you guys are starting to understand why I said we are about to go to World War III with China. Don't be surprised when China retaliates and does the exact same thing to Taiwan as what we just did to Venezuela. And don't be surprised when that's exactly the goal. All the billionaires are down in the Caribbean right now with all their big super yachts for New Year's. And that's like the new, what do you call it? Like Federal Reserve meeting, how they used to all meet in like Jackson Hole or wherever, or over in Switzerland or whatever. They have these different meetings around the world where all the Western billionaires that are on the team of Europe, basically the royal banking families of Europe, they all meet at these different spots. So I knew that something big was about to happen because they're all together. And so they did this big raid and they supposedly captured the president. And now they're bringing him back supposedly on a ship instead of on an aircraft. When we capture really important bad guys, they get flown from point A to point B. They don't get put on a ship. Okay, so the whole thing's bullshit. I don't think you're going to see the guy. I don't think he's still alive. Venezuela's technically in the right to be angry right now because everybody's being lied to, in my opinion. The little piece of knowledge that you have to understand that starts to justify the European elite's behavior, okay, and starts to make it so that the democracy of America doesn't need to exist, that the European, elites, aristocrat monarchies are superior to our democracy is there is super technology that needs to be kept off limits. Go ahead and do a search about MIT plasma scientists murdered. For those of you who say, "Oh, who cares, Brandon? Just release all your stuff and tell us what you think." You guys, everything that I have had that inner voice tell me, my gut instinct tell me, this is the truth. But if you share it with the world right now, you're making a mistake. Everything's come to fruition. Like there's been evidence of people being killed systematically who figured out the same things that I have figured out. Okay. In case you haven't noticed by now, I'm not the kind of guy who just takes a story and processes it and saves it to memory and now I know the truth. I question everything, I attack everything, and I was that way in physics class. Both years of physics in high school, every bit of physics I've learned since then. I see what's going on. I see that there's a conspiracy amongst certain physicists who keep secrets. There are certain secrets kept on purpose. Certain top physicists admit this. They openly have admitted it, like on CNN and Fox News, where they say, physicists have to keep certain secrets for the safety of mankind. Guys, they're not lying to you. They're keeping fucking secrets by teaching you the wrong physics. I understand how Giza worked. Giza was a multi-stage device. It was a water pump and it was a electronic generator. And I'm not going to get into any more details than that. That should tell you everything you need to know if you have half a fucking brain to solve anything and you're not a fucking chimpanzee, which most of you are. Most of you are fucking mentally disabled cavemen who can't understand how machines work. So, I get it. You guys can't be trusted with bigger knowledge because you can't even figure out the bigger knowledge on your own. And then when you find out there's a bigger knowledge that you can't figure out, you just want to prove that you know how it works and you end up doing stupid shit with it. So I see what's going on. I knew that Trump would be jeopardized in his first presidency. that he would be enlightened, and now he is a puppet, guys. Those of you thinking, oh yeah, Donald Trump did this, guys, the billionaires of the globe did this with Venezuela. And they're going to put China back into the fucking Stone Ages when it's all said and done. But they're going to keep the war going between the two for as long as needed to take away everybody's rights. Everything's going to be justified in the name of war, which I've been telling you about with General Motors and the warranty repair stuff. So let's change topic here and talk about Rick Conti for a moment. Guys, so Lehto's Law is a great YouTube channel. The guy's a fucking lawyer. He knows what he's talking about. He does his homework before he opens his mouth because he doesn't want to get sued because he's got, like 1 million subscribers. Conti, on the other hand, has no fucking clue what he's talking about. Like, absolutely fucking zero. And thinks that he is going to correct Lehto's Law as the quote-unquote idiot. Guys, this is insane. So Conti does this Tech Tuesday where first he starts out trying to explain to everybody why Lehto's Law was completely clueless about the nut with the wrong color Loctite. And Conti's completely in left field. He doesn't understand the point is General Motors voided the warranty, not the dealership. So Conti's sitting there blabbing shit that's completely irrelevant to the point. And then he does a follow-up Tech Tuesday to try to save face. He says, I'm going to make a correction on the last Tech Tuesday because Conti got annihilated because everybody is so sick of his shit. Everybody is so sick of his dumbass bullshit. And I haven't watched the guy in a long time. I sent him a nice video link the other day thinking that maybe he'd talk about this stuff. Guys, he's either the most paid off puppet from General Motors there ever was, okay? Or he is in fucking La La Land. It's one of the two. He's either intentionally feeding you guys misinformation because he's mad that he can't sell Corvettes above 231 invoice price anymore because that's where they're having to sell them now, okay? He's either mad that he can't sell Corvettes for a big profit anymore, or he is clueless. So either he's intentionally lying to you guys, telling you things that aren't true. Now, don't get me wrong, he's telling you truths, but they're irrelevant to what Lehto's Law reported. What Lehto's Law reported is factual shit, guys. General Motors voided the warranty on the guy's claim, not the dealership. The dealership doesn't void warranty. If Conti wanted to make an accurate video, he could have said something along the lines of, GM techs don't have to disclose that much detail to General Motors. But then he'd be throwing Chuck under the bus if he said that, because then it's like Chuck is purposely hiding important details from General Motors about what color the Loctite is on the bolts that they're taking out of the cars. So let's just keep it simple. General Motors is very pleased when mechanics find the problems with cars that void their warranties, and General Motors is not pleased when mechanics keep warranty voiding details secret so that General Motors still has to pay the warranty claim. That's what the discussion's about. But Conti can't keep the discussion about that, nor does Conti or any of these guys want to admit that the reason why he's getting all defensive is because, as I pointed out, he and all these other YouTubers who are part of the Corvette call to cluelessness are trying to shove solar throttle bodies, ported throttle bodies down you guys' throats. And those void your warranty on your cars, guys. General Motors does not approve warranty claims once those have been added to an engine. Okay? If your engine or transmission fails, General Motors isn't covering it. If your output shafts fail, General Motors isn't covering it. Anything that increases the power to your car, General Motors will not cover. So these guys are lying to you guys and they're deceiving you when they're not telling you that all these throttle bodies they're shoving down your throats. Not only are they going to void your warranties, not only are they making Conti and all Justin Horsepower Obsessed and all these guys money to be selling these products, but the reality is, part of me is entertaining the idea that General Motors has told Conti and Justin and all these different people, hey, get everybody to put these on their cars. That way we don't have to cover their cars under warranty. because General Motors is so scared of bankruptcy, in my opinion. So they're trying to void the warranty on you guys' C806 engines before you guys' C806 engines end up like mine. That's a long enough episode for today. That's enough for now. I'll put up the videos of Conti here after a bit. See ya.